So myViewboard is the interface that comes with ViewSonics. So again, just like Smart Notebook, it is software. The ViewSonic is the hardware. The Smartboard is the hardware. How you use or manipulate on it depends on the program. So myViewboard does work with the hardware of Smartboards. All you have to do, just like OpenBoard and Canva, plug your Smartboard into your teaching laptop, pick up the, and you will be able to write easily. So with myViewboard, unlike OpenBoard, you do have to put in a Help Hub ticket to have it installed onto your device. So if you log into the Help Hub and you select My Lab, you are going to go to Laptops and Desktops, select Install, Uninstall App Request. Once you click that, this window is what will pop up. Don't click on Submit down here because you haven't done anything yet. You want to click on the link that says Software Request Page. And then from there, you're going to fill in the form that it gives you, asking to install myViewboard. Now, when you are filling in that form, myViewboard is approved, so you can check it off that it has been approved, and it is free, okay? Because we pay for the generalized licenses with the ViewSonics. So you will be able to request for the installation on it that way. Now, myViewboard is not as clunky as OpenBoard, but has some similar features to Smart Notebook, if that helps. There are some things that that work really well within it and that will transfer over. There is a little bit of a caveat with myViewboard, though, that I will tell you about when we get to importing and exporting or importing in the Smart Notebook files. So once you have it installed on your device, you're going to look for myViewboard, and it will have this icon with a red cloud that says My. You're going to select the person at the very bottom right-hand corner. When it opens up, you will see that there is this little person. You're going to select on that person, and then over here, it's going to ask you to log in, and you're going to want to make sure you click on that Microsoft square. So the square that has the 4 color boxes on it. What will pop up is then your SSO login. For this, be sure to use your TV numbers at tvdsb.ca and not your alias. It will not connect you if you're using your name email. So if I did l.bb@tvdsb.ca, it will not work. I needed to use my TV numbers, just like we do with Canva. So that part is really, really important. And then follow the prompts that it tells you. All right, if you don't already have this installed, no problem, you do have time. I will be walking you through the program. So once I have it installed, I've opened it up. See down here at the bottom right-hand corner, you will see that little icon. That's where I'm going to click to sign in. Excuse me. So it automatically will open into a new slide deck or a new page. Now, there's a couple of different ways. There's 2 different ways that we can import our Smart Notebook files. So remember, with OpenBoard, we had to export our files as a PDF. With Canva, you had to export your file as either a PDF or a PowerPoint. I prefer the PowerPoint in Canva, but that's a side fact. Now, importing into myViewboard is a little bit easier. There's a hard way and an easy way. The harder way is if I come over here to this magic box, not the file. The file folder it's a more challenging way. If I come over here to this magic box and I come up here to where it says file types, and I use this drop-down menu, I can scroll down and click on Notebook. Now, when I click on my device, it's going to now look for Smart Notebook files, and they'll pop up here. It's a lot of clicks. It's a lot of different things to do, but it is one way to incorporate your files. And notice how I didn't go into Smart Notebook and export them out. It allows me to do this pretty seamlessly. The easier option, and both do have a little bit of a snag with them, I will tell you. The easier option is I'm now going to come over here to where my files are, stored on my computer. I've just done a search for my notebook files because I have some here, there, and everywhere. And I'm going to grab, again, this cribbage file. The other files don't belong to me, so I'm using the one that does. I'm going to grab this cribbage file, and I'm literally going to drag it and drop it onto my myViewboard. That's all there was to it. I didn't have to export. If you don't have a lot of interactivity, this will work. If you have a lot of interactivity, you may not get all of your slides. So the bonus with this is if you don't have a lot of interactivity on your slides, the August 1st deadline won't really matter as much because it's just simply dragging the notebook file and dropping it. However, this is where the problem comes. If you have interactivity, some will pull and some won't. So this slide deck actually had 13 slides to it in Smart Notebook. All 13 were pulled over. I did do a slide, a notebook file of 69 pages or 68 pages. They all incorporated over. However, there was one file that had 40 pages, and when we went to transfer it over, we only got to see the first 13. And that final slide, the 13th, was partially missing. Only some of the things were on it. When I went back into Notebook and removed that slide 13, I was able to pull all of the other slides in. So I was able to pull 39 of the 40 slides in because I'd removed number 13. There was something in the interactivity on slide 13 that would not allow me to pull it over. So this is where it becomes a little bit of a gamble. Easy to pull, you just might not be able to get everything. So I am going to give it that caveat right now because some of the interactivity will not pull over. All right, so now I have my 13 slides. I can pick and choose which ones I want to incorporate, or I can select all. And then I'm going to import them, import the landscape. And now you will see all my slides up here. Down here at the very bottom bar is where I can switch and toggle between my slides, similar to how I would with Notebook. And I can actually grab these 4 arrows and I can move this anywhere on my screen that I wish. But over here where it says the 2 with the slide, when I click on this, you will see that that very slide, so remember I had 13 slides I incorporated over, I now have 14 slides on here. The first slide will always come up as a blank. I don't know why, it just is what happens. You can easily delete it though, no problem. If you wanted to duplicate a slide, this is where you would do that as well. So you could click on here and duplicate that page. I can pin it, I can add a blank. Right now I'm just going to exit out. And then also down here beside that, I can add a blank new page if I would like. So for example, there's my new page. Okay, lots of tools in here that you can play with as well. So just at this toolbar on the left-hand side, this Windows icon at the very top is the same similar thing as what we did with the Windows and OpenBoard. This will allow you to switch back and forth. So I can click on this window, for example, and look, there is my Canva passage on Earth. I can come over here to the pen tool. I can then click on the pen again, and I'm going to grab the highlighter, for example, and now I can highlight and I can write all over this page. Now I can do the same thing as I did before. I can take a screenshot of the page. So now it's taking a picture of the entire page. And there we go. And now I'm back in my myViewboard and there's a picture of that entire page. And I can then make it smaller. And then I can just easily screen record and keep everything in track onto the same slide deck. There was also, I could grab a section just like I did with OpenBoard. So there is that availability and that option on here as well. Okay, now other tools that you have within here. So, If you had a ViewSonic board, that's where you would go to connect it wirelessly. There's our screen selection record. This is also a way of opening and saving your files, but you won't be able to search for specific notebook files through that file folder. You're going to want to use the box of goodies here. Now, the box of goodies also gives us some other options. So across the top, for example, I can pull out a sticky note to write on in my screen. So you can see once I pull the sticky note out, I can then write. There we go. And you'll see that once I'm done writing on it and I click off of it, it goes to where I originally put it. The math tools in this box of goodies are located right here. So again, I can pull out a protractor, and this protractor will let me, normally it lets me manipulate onto it. So I'd be able to find, and of course right now it's not going to let me, is it? All right, it's not letting me do it, but that's okay. So there is a protractor feature here. You can move it around. The die on here as well, if I pull them out. Now the die on this screen, here we go, I'm going to move them up here. I can change, I want, right now I have 1, I can have 2, I can have 3, I can have 4. I can change what it looks like. So if I want my die to be purple, I can also manipulate if I want numbers, if I want letters, I can change up how I want it. And now my die are out here and ready to go. And if I just click on them, they will start to work. There we go. You just have to click on one of them and then they will roll for you. So there is that feature as well. Also within this box of goodies, you have your video, your camera, the ViewSonic Originals. This will bring up any pictures or items that are unique to ViewSonic that you can pull out. You can search by theme as well. There's a resource picker. Well, that's what this is. It's the resource picker. So you can like click in, find the resources that you want to use. In corporate YouTube, you can pull in search images. You can throw in a pop quiz for your students as well, and then share out the QR code for them to participate within it. So there is that availability as well. You can add in websites. So you can look for websites and you can incorporate them in here as well. The other really neat feature, another option too, that is kind of neat is, so I'm going to go into shapes and I'm going to pull this rectangle and I'm going to draw my rectangle out. You can see as I'm drawing, it's actually giving me measurements for it. The measurements go away as soon as I'm finished. However, I have this box here now, and now because of that, I have this other window. So I can flip things, I can fill them, I can link them, I can copy, I can cut, I can lock. But down here, I have an angle feature. And when I click on it, it will give me the lengths. It will also give me the angles of those shapes. Okay. Now, if I wanted to divide this into segments, so I can even take, oh, gotta get my pointer back. Why isn't it letting me? There we go. I'm going to take the angles out, and now I'm going to divide it into segments. Say I want to divide it into 5 segments. I can do that. Now, again, I can then also, within my segments, show the measurements of 1. So then this can become a math question of what are all the segments worth? I can now divide this segment into 2. And so I do have a few different features that I can do with it there. Another cool feature that is within this program is down here where I have the little mountains at the very bottom left-hand corner. Those are my backgrounds. So if I click on this, I can then choose a background to go onto my page. So for example, if I am teaching music, I'm going to apply it to, I can apply it to all pages or just this page. I can now have my staff lines and my staff sheet. Students will select the pen. Students can come up and practice drawing notes. They can practice drawing their treble clef, their bass clef. So that's one thing that's pretty neat. Also on here, this would have been great when I was teaching cribbage for our tournaments. You can have a tournament that's thinking hats. So the Infinite Cloner is working within myViewboard. So there is an interactivity that it is now accepting, which is fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you spending time with me today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I will try to help in any way that I can. If while you're in the process, once you get myViewboard installed and you're kind of getting a little snag, please reach out. I'll try to help.